Number 8.
We have a presentation, and EJI is here. I'd rather us do it during work session instead of doing the meeting, so we can already have it out the way.
Yeah, if we can do it. How big? We got a lot on this agenda, saying because everybody, y'all got all these folks who speak. So we got
They probably about 3 to 5 minutes.
how much?
Yeah, about 3 to 5 minutes.
Oh, we can do a three
Yeah.
minute deal.
Can you all come on up? And then
Look at it, look like, yeah.
that's EJI.
Get them through, and we'll be moving on. Okay, this is on number
Item number 8.
8. Okay. Yeah, I heard about a bridge today, and I thought it was over the river. It ain't over the river, is it?
We'll keep it moving. My name is Stephen Seabolts. I'm proud to live here in Montgomery and work for EJI, and we're here tonight for a license agreement related to a pedestrian overpass at our project up at the old Hilltop Arms building at 600 Montgomery Street. I was going to provide just some real quick context about what we're doing, and then introduce Tim, our architect, for a quick preview so you guys can see that. We're building a cultural center up at 600 Montgomery Street where our guests will continue to learn about and reckon with the history of the region. We're going to host small conferences there, convenings we call them. We'll have guest rooms, we'll have meeting space, a ballroom, a restaurant, and educational space where folks can learn about the history of the region, the trail, and all of the topics that EJI has been engaging on. These convenings, these small conferences, are a bigger part of our vision going forward as an organization. So just in the past year, we've hosted leaders from healthcare and education. We had some of the world's best classical musicians in town. This week, right now, we have over 50 college presidents in town for an EJI-hosted convening. And so for us, it's really helpful to have our own space. That gives us flexibility of scheduling. It gives us some assurance that there's going to be room in the inn when those folks come to town. And so those convenings are a big part of what this project is all about. We've had great collaboration with the city on this project to date. We've been working closely for nearly a year with Kippy Tate and Tracy in inspections, and Amy and Patrick in engineering and traffic, and on and on and on, to get all the approvals to where we are to this point. When we think about this project, we think about an economic development aspect to it, right? So we are planning to host Fortune 500 CEOs and leaders from major sports leagues, and we believe when they come to Montgomery, they'll think about Montgomery in a different way. They'll think about not only coming back as a visitor, but investing here. We believe this will continue to build on the impact that EJI has had in the city. We have thousands of visitors coming already every week, and the increase in sales tax revenue that's been written about is one of the many indicators. So we're excited about this project. We're excited about continuing the collaboration with the city on this project, excited about building another world-class facility and building this with excellence, engaging with the local citizens and welcoming them into the project as well. And so I want to introduce Tim Sliger, our lead architect, just to show a bit about the design.
Hey, welcome. My name is Tim Sliger. I'm with Hendrick and one of the lead architects on the project, and just got a couple of architectural renderings to show you. So just to give you kind of where we are. So this is actually Montgomery and State Street looking back towards Goldthwaite. And you can see the bridge. It's a 2-level bridge that's connecting the existing structure on the right of the image. That would be the existing residential tower that we are renovating to a hotel. So obviously there's guest rooms, restaurant, kind of operational spaces over there. On the other side of the bridge would be a new ground-up structure, and over there is the guest drop-off, and we have the reception, amenity, and conference center on that side. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, thank you. This view is actually Goldthwaite looking back down Montgomery Street, and so you can see that the bridge is fully glazed on both sides, and the intention of that is for transparency, both for views and daylight inside the bridge. And in addition to that, the glazing actually extends up, kind of cantilevered up to form the guardrails for the second level pedestrian access. And in addition, the bridge is 15 feet over Montgomery Street, and the intention for that is provides for emergency vehicle access and commercial vehicle access underneath. So that's just kind of a quick little kind of view of what we're proposing for the bridge. I'll say I appreciate the time.
Can you, talk, I know that I have some community members here. Are y'all signed up for work session or council meeting? I got, Charlie, Mr. President, I got some community members here that, just want to have a word, and that way we can do it during this work session instead of
Okay,
stretching it over. Come on
No,
up.
no, okay. Quickly speak up. You got to talk. We'll listen to
Yeah, Jake.
2 minutes each.
Good evening. My name is Jake Johnson. I'm the president of the Cottage Hill Foundation, which is a neighborhood just adjacent to this proposed development. I want to start by saying the neighborhood is not, we want to see this project come to fruition. We've been watching this for a long time. It's right next door. Literally, our district ends at Gulfwaite Street, where this property is immediately adjacent to it. We, however, have not had the opportunity to make a decision on whether or not we are happy with this is the first images we've seen at this point in time. We met with EJI many months ago, and they assured us that we'd be kept in the loop, and we would be informed about any decisions and anything that would impact the neighborhood, as well as the small business owners as well. And we got city council agenda over the weekend and saw that this pedestrian sky bridge was proposed over the road itself. So like I said, ultimately, what my request is, what the neighborhood's request is that this be carried over to allow Equal Justice Initiative to provide the opportunity for community members to meet with them and provide feedback, as well as the National Park Service to provide any comments and recommendations for this proposal, since it does go over, since the sky bridge does go over the trail from Selma to Montgomery. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake.
Thank you. Has the trail question been answered already in planning? Anybody over there know?
Yeah, Robert, you said
Robert,
planning?
do you know if that's been covered already? The trail question. Yeah, this
National
bridge goes
Park
over the trail. I understand y'all been working, the planning's been working on this for a while. On the bridge.
The bridge? No, I haven't been involved.
Who over there has had trouble? Mr.
Kippy,
Adams,
you
Adam,
wanna,
you had
say
trouble?
something?
Have you worked on it?
Okay.
Adams worked on it, okay. That's good. Okay, Robert.
Warren Adams, Land Use Control Administrator. Yes, the bridge does go over the Selma to Montgomery Trail, but that does not fall under the purview of the Historic Preservation Office. That is purely to do with the National Park Service. I believe they are aware of the plans, but I haven't received any comments actually from the National Park Service, but it does not fall under the Historic Department's review.
But it does,
Oh, okay.
but it does come to the Parks and Rec, Parks, U.S. Parks Service. They would have to approve it before it.
I don't think they necessarily have to approve it. I think that they're available to make comment if they wish, but we haven't received any comments
Very
from
good.
them.
Okay,
Could you tell the people who you are, just because some people don't know?
Warren Adams, Land Use Control Administrator.
Land
and
Control.
I oversee historic preservation.
Very good, thank you so much. So I think the only comment I had, Stacy, I asked Ms. Brenda to comment on, and I already spoke with a couple of other departments that I just was not in the loop and engaged in this at all. So I could have already engaged my constituency and let them know what was happening, but I wasn't able to. I wasn't provided that opportunity, and I know I ask on a regular basis to just be informed, maybe an email or whatever. It doesn't have to be anything official or formal, but that way so I can let the community members know what's happening if it's in a residential area.
I received the package, I think, Thursday. I just received the agreement. I didn't know about it beforehand. I reviewed it to see if all the documents were appropriately completed and signed, and I forwarded it to the city clerk's office. I didn't have a role in it prior to that.
Okay, thank you.
All right,
Okay,
very good.
thank you.
Any other questions?
No other questions?
Okay, let's move on to the agenda.
Yes.
We'll talk about it, okay. All right, number 9. These are resolutions to obligate the money from the ARPA money, is this correct?
Yes.
These are the ones y'all discussed in work session at the last council meeting.
Okay, this is where we do it. And we're giving money to the three different entities, whether the entities on domestic violence and child protection, Sunshine Center, one place. Yeah, okay. I'm good with 9. Number 10 is same thing for Jackson Hospital and same thing for Baptist Hospital on Melvin.
So, just so I can say this
Okay.
now, I kind of want to know a little more about these. I still have the opinion that there had to been some kind of federal help to the hospitals during COVID, just like they sent us some as municipalities. And at the end of the day, this money, this small ARPA money is supposed to impact people. And so I'm concerned about that. So I don't know that I'm in agreement with this one, these two, just because I just think that the hospitals are an entity who, you know, is that what we really need to put our ARPA dollars? They're supposed to impact people?
I think in the essence, I don't say think, I know, especially for our communities, the hospitals were just as impacted as anything else because with the people, and a lot of people were using the emergency rooms and the equipment was, used to the capacity, yeah, so they didn't have any more like the x-ray machines and things like that. So I know the way that it was pitched during our meetings was that they wanted to utilize these dollars for equipment because this little tap in the pocket, it wouldn't do anything for their bottom line, or even if they went in the red, it wouldn't change anything, but it would definitely give them equipment to continue to provide services for our community members. And then I know that it was also pitched, and I know I brought Dr. Holloway too, and remember I brought him in to kind of talk about what can we do on the preventative measures to assist with this, and so that's another side of that, but as far as the dollars are concerned, it's more for equipment.
So they didn't get no federal bailout?
They did get some
They
dollars.
did.
Yeah.
But I think the reality is all this.
They got a lot of it. And that's what I'm saying. We didn't get a lot though. We
Yeah.
only got a small amount. And I just think it's better served somewhere in the community. I know me and you more than anybody. Not saying y'all don't need it in y'all district, but I just know our district.
At every hospital.
Yeah, and not for the hospital, but I mean just
I think the problem we got here is our hospitals service about an 18 to 20 county area,
They do.
and that's where the real problem's at.
Yeah.
They're uncompensated pay coming in, people coming in here that don't have compensated pay, and these hospitals are going in the red because of that. I have talked to the mayor, and we need the state to get involved, but in my opinion, we need a statewide resolution that creates cash to compensate our hospitals that have to take care of such a large area.
Oh, did I just hear you say expand Medicaid?
Well, I think something's got to be done. You got to open up these hospitals.
That's right.
You got to open. They're all coming in here. Something's got to happen.
That's
So,
right.
And again, I'm not,
It's a
let's be
compensated
clear.
end of it.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying the hospitals they're not important. They're important for every community, the city, and not just Montgomery, because even the surrounding little areas
Correct.
come to our hospitals, so
They
they're
do.
very important. Again, we just had small
But-
funding
Yeah, I
given
think-
to us for relief, and I'm just concerned if this is the best way with this one, so.
I think another thing's happening to us too. All these shootings, somebody got to pay for that, and it ain't. And most of the people getting shot not paying. I guarantee you. Okay, move on.
I still don't know that that's what this is for though.
All right. Okay. All right. Number 12 is another part of it goes to the United Way. And then number 13 is the DOJ assistance JAG program we always do every year. Number 14, HUD money, we've always done every year, same thing. And then we get into number. Okay, that's right there.
Oh, do it?
That's right.
Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
This is Brittany Smith, and I'm Gary Sharp. We're both grants coordinators with the City of Montgomery.
Okay.
And we're here to present for your consideration and possibly adoption of a resolution for our PY 2023 HUD funds so that we can make application to HUD. And we have 10 projects here, and all of them were made available to you all, I want to say 2 weeks ago. And you also emailed those projects as well. And so we're here to try and get the resolution passed so we can make application to HUD. Do
Okay.
y'all have any questions?
Anybody got any questions? Anybody okay?
Any questions?
Anybody got a question? Y'all got questions? Okay.
Yeah, just the application process. I know we kind of went through it last
Yes.
Yeah, and I know you all are new, but, so the application, this is just to apply through HUD.
Yes.
But the packet that we received were,
The package you received that was information, yes, about all the projects.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, that's right.
okay. Outside of this, can I have a card so we can have a sidebar on me understanding what that process looks like?
Yes, I will get that to you, Council.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
No other questions for me?
Okay.
All right.
Anybody else got a question? Thank you.
Thank you all.
I'll pass that down, please.
All right.
All those. All right, number 15 is the rock and roll sushi. That's in my district. I have no problem with that. Number 16, rock and roll sushi downtown. Ms. Marshall, you got any problem with number 16?
No problems with 16.
All right, number 17.
I'm okay with 17, yes.
Okay, number 18.
I am not okay with 18 at the moment, so
Okay, we'll have a
we'll
public hearing.
address that.
Okay,
Yeah.
Number 19.
I'm cool.
Okay, number 20.
Number 20?
20, yep, that's on South Cass Street.
Oh, yes, I'm okay.
You okay with that? Okay. Number 21 on Northern Long Bridge Road, Bio Food and Beverage. Is that you, CC?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. Number 22, airport appointment there. Number 23, you're tearing them down, then the abatements. Okay. All right, I've already given you one packet here, one deal that was left out of the packet, the resolution to obligate the American Rescue Funds to the Montgomery Thrive Fund Initiative. Is that correct, Madam Clerk? That's the first one?
Yes, sir.
The Thrive Funds, okay. Then I got another one here, Council, that I need to hand out. This is about the entertainment district existing,
It's for the
it's a
pedicab.
pedicab,
Yes, sir.
okay. We'll see that as you pull over that way. And forward going your way. That's the pedicab. It'll be discussed at the meeting. We'll have that at the
Oh,
end of
yes,
the
the paddle bus.
Yeah, pedicab.
Yes,
Pedicab.
that makes, thank you.
Okay. And then we have,
Granting a license to, for a security guard, a security gate at Monument Park Drive, Barrett Parkway, and Chastain Park Drive.
is that in District 1?
I didn't check it.
What is it?
I'm gonna hand them out. Just go on there. There you go. It's a, this is a New Park Residential Association. Is this you,
New
Glenn?
Park, is that Glenn? That's you, right, Glenn?
Yes, Glenn, you got, Glenn, you on this one?
Yes.
You okay?
Gates, yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah, the gates.
Yeah, that's it, okay. All righty. Moving right along here, let's get into the, people want to speak to us. All right, we got 3 people with the community action that's going to be here today, and let's see who's here from Ms. Roberta Collins, community action. Would like to speak to us, please? Thank you, been asked to come down.
Yeah, they do.
Thanks, Suzanne. Yes, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for having us. I have some of the Board of Directors with us as well as our Chief Executive Officer. Montgomery Community Action Board of Directors, who we are, what we do. The board is comprised of 24 members or individuals across 3 sectors. Sector 1 is one of you, which is our city and county. Sector 2 is our private organization, local business, and faith-based organization. 3 is our low-income sector. These ensure all things that we do with those 3 sectors. And we try to make sure that we cover the things that we should cover. So this ensures that we will have a voice to be heard from the community. What we do as the governing body, the board of directors ensures the agency observes and carry out productiveness. Also, to require the mandates that we have to observe for the state and federal. The board also oversees the participants and participate in the completion of the agency's strategic plan. Common or community needs and self-assessment. Now, day-to-day operation is not in our scope. We do not do staff work. The only employee whom the board has is our CEO. And we stay within our jurisdiction. Now, I also want to ask or stress to you or explain to you or just be polite and say, there's some things that we really want to do, but in order to carry out these things that we want to do, we need more money. And we do know that you do give us money, but we're asking that if you would just increase the amount of money that you give us, we will appreciate it greatly. And that's the way that we can better serve our citizens. Now, with our mission statement, and you can see that it's going to encompass all of these things that we do. Montgomery Community Action combats poverty, and advocates for self-efficiency through programs and services which assist our low-income citizens in the river region. Because I remind you now that we have 3 sectors. Low-income people are one of those sectors that we have. Everyone does not have the same amount of money. Everyone is not the same. So if you would just help us out in that perspective, we will appreciate it greatly. And again, we're here to serve the people in our community, and that's what we do. Thank you.
Hey, let me ask you a question. You talking about money? I see you have a $19,355,000 annual budget. Is that correct?
She didn't hear you.
Can you
Ms.
hear me?
Collins?
Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yes, what was your query?
Your budget's a $19,355,000 annual basis. Does that cover all the different areas of community action?
That is correct.
that go to the 1,200 kids in Head Start?
Yes. Yes.
What's the X for this year's budget? I think that's the, when I want you all to come in, the definite thing is, we want to know what you've done through the year, but we know what you do. What's the X for this year's budget? Because we're working on the budget now, and we need to know the X. $350,000? Yes, ma'am. And what were you receiving? What was your last year's? 178? Last year, what did you receive?
From the city, it's about 100, maybe 110 at max.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
And
One question. I have a couple.
another
go
thing
ahead.
too,
Yes, ma'am.
one other thing, I think that you have a sheet where you could read the Montgomery Community Action results. And that is an insert, which is the last sheet.
That's the financial statement? Right, it just doesn't have an X for the anticipated budget. Is
Okay.
another question?
Ma'am.
And Ms. Collins, I have a question for you. Do y'all assist with any home repairs
They do.
for those that come through?
We do not,
You do not? No repair at all? No?
none.
They apply.
But now we do help, those who need assistance, whereas air conditioning, we do that.
So let me ask this question, because I think you may have applied for funding to assist with home repairs, and you were not approved. If there were funding made available, do you have the resources as far as the manpower, the contractors, and all that you would need to be able to get that done? Do y'all have that type of access?
We do.
Interesting.
Ma'am,
Yes,
did y'all get any ARPA funds? Did y'all get any ARPA rescue funds?
We received funds that were specifically set aside for particular purposes, for LIHEAP and assistance with rent and things of that nature.
Okay,
But they were earmarked
They
funds.
were earmarked.
okay.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
Dr. Jones, if you can, the building that you guys are currently in, is that conducive to what you guys need to service the city and the county of Montgomery?
Well, we're looking for.
Talk to the mic so we can hear you.
That building is not necessarily conducive to the needs at this moment. When COVID came along, we had to do some changes to the facility to serve our clients through windows. We haven't brought them back inside because we, of course, received some funding to do that, to make that change, but we don't have the funding to reverse that or to change it back, but we can bring the citizens back inside.
And council, we had some resolutions in front of us for the hospital, and we said that money probably wouldn't be suitable for the hospital, but we got individuals that's standing right in front of us that can use that money. That I know they only got a small amount. I know the hospital got ARPA funds as well, but I would like to see that money used towards, like Head Start. They doing everything that we need here in this city, they're doing it. And I want to make sure that we utilize the people that's serving our constituents.
I'd like to see that as well. As a matter of fact, I didn't take note that you were coming today, but I made that suggestion as well when I was talking with Jim right on my way in. Terry, can you come up for a moment? Let me ask that question and see if that's feasible. Because we do want to stay within guidelines.
Yes, we do. We want them
How
to be
you feeling
compliant.
today, Miss Terry? You
Nice to
feeling
have
all
you
right?
back.
Yeah.
My voice is a little strained, so
Oh, that's
y'all bear
right.
with
I'm
me.
sorry.
That's okay. I'm here. What was the question, Councilor Graham?
Would they qualify for funding through ARPA?
Yes.
Okay.
So I think the ask is to take this Jackson and Baptist money and redo the resolution to give it to community action.
For what would be the purpose?
I think it sounds like that critical home repair.
Well, every program.
Mr. President, and I think,
Yes, sir.
I know, and I agree with what we're talking about. Let's revamp what we're talking about, bring them to the table,
Yes.
get their answer on what they're gonna do with the funds before we make those decisions on what we need to do on allocations, because I know we're gonna start shooting from the hip right now. So let's just put this plan together and what we need to do
I agree.
If it's the directive from the council, I would be happy to have a call with you all tomorrow. We can schedule it before we leave today, kind of talk through some next steps, and then we could bring that back. While I'm up here, I'll add, I do believe that Baptist and Jackson are here today to provide you guys more information about how they would utilize that funding, should you guys move forward with it.
Okay, but please get with them, Terry, because we really want to help with community action.
Okay, very good. Anybody else, got any more questions? Let's move on, let's go to Housing Authority, please. Thank y'all for being here.
Thank you all so kindly.
Thank you, Dr. Jones, Ms. Collins, thank you.
Thank you.
John Knight, Housing Authority. Mr. Jones.
Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I understand I've been summoned to come and talk about the
Yes, you
Housing
are.
Authority.
That's it.
I want to thank you for the invitation and delighted to be here this afternoon to talk about the Montgomery Housing Authority. I also have Ms. Glennis Tanner, who is our acting director at the present time. And if it's okay, I'll ask her to pass out some brochures to you. I'll start off by saying that the Housing Authority was established in the state of Alabama across the state so that you'd have housing authorities in all communities. So it's established by state statute. And the Housing Authority for Montgomery have 9 members. That each one of you have an appointee to the board. Those members are myself, who serve as chairman of the board. We have General Paul Hankins, who's the vice chairman, Mr. Willie Durham, Mr. Frank Brown, Ms. Aisha Brooks, Mr. Edwin Bertorelli, Ms. Julie Turner Beard, Mr. Shirley Smith, and Sonia Mock. And I think a few of them are here. If they would, I'd like to ask them to please stand. They are members of our board. And thank you very much for some very good appointees. The Montgomery Housing Authority has 66 full-time employees in 9 departments. We have an annual payroll budget of $3.8 million. We are the 4th, we were the 3rd, but now we're the 4th largest housing authority in the state. So it's a tremendous responsibility. All of our funding basically comes from HUD, and in spending those funds, we have to go strictly by HUD rules and regulations. We are audited on a regular basis. We have a total number of individuals served, 12,583. We have 3,068 residents who are voucher families. We have 1,184 public housing units. We have 275 in mixed income units. And we have 850 landlords for a total of $23 million, $23,121,252. That's basically known as the Section 8 program. That's the amount of money that goes throughout the community for the Section 8 program. One thing that we have tried to do here in Montgomery is reposition public housing. Excuse me, reposition public housing. We have discovered, and I think they've discovered it throughout the nation, building public housing projects no longer work. So what we are trying to do and continue to do is to try to have mixed family housing, try to help build community, help build the infrastructure. So I say that only to say that each of you, whether you have a traditional public housing unit in your district or not, you should have an interest in making certain that we fulfill our mission of providing affordable housing to people who can't afford the market rate, but they can afford affordable housing. Now, I'll tell you, as long as I've been on the board, one thing that I struggle with is this, and all of us struggle with it, is making certain that once we do this, that people understand that this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to get ahead. This is an opportunity for you to be in good housing, to make certain that you have decent, safe, and sanitary conditions to live in, and we want to make certain that that is taking place. So that's something that we will continue to strive for, and that's the reason that we are trying to rid ourselves of what's traditionally known as public housing projects. The next slide will show the Richardson Terrace, the old Richardson Terrace, and it'll show you some of the things that we're trying to do. It'll show you pictures of the old Richardson Terrace, and if you go to the next one, it'll show you the interior there as it was. The next one will show you the terrace as it is now. This is an elderly complex that we've gone in, spent millions of dollars with renovation so that we would have a decent place for senior citizens to live. I will tell you right now, there's still a shortage for affordable housing for senior citizens in this particular area. The next one would be two-lane court. I think anybody here would know two-lane court. That's what it was before. We went in and we completely renovated that, and it's now called the Plaza at Centennial Hill. And you will see the difference in the old public housing project and the Plaza at Centennial Hill. That is phase one, which is a big difference. The big question gets to be making certain that our public housing entities all over the city receive the same support that any other residential area would receive. What do I mean by that? We need police protection. We need garbage pickup. I'm not saying we don't have that, but I'm just saying I don't want anybody to think that we don't need that and we have the funds to fund it ourselves, because we are part of the community, and all we ask is the same type of support that you give throughout the community for the low-income housing areas as well. And what we're trying to do is encourage in our residents the opportunities that they have by taking care of the property and making certain that all of the units are taken care of. The next thing would be the Plaza at Centennial Hill Phase 2. We will complete that at some point, but there's another units that we will be building at Centennial Plaza to complete the project at Centennial Plaza. Cleveland Court, that was another housing project that we had here. And I can tell you right now, because a person lives in low-income or public housing project does not mean that they cannot be successful. You got people in Montgomery that lived in Cleveland Court, two-lane court, that's gone on to do very well in society, and not only here in Montgomery, but in other places as well. So we have got to continue that spirit within people that live in affordable housing, that they can do anything that anybody else can do. And that's the reason that we want to try to provide the type of housing that will be conducive for the little kids that's coming up now to know that they have an opportunity. They have an opportunity to be successful. Next, you will see we have the old administration building, which was out there on the old Bell Street. We sold that to the city, and I think that's now what you call it, Whitewater. So you can see, and well, Riverside Heights went along with that. And I'm here to ask of you, look what a beautiful place you have out there. Look how many units were displaced for that. Now, we did get some money from the city for that, but we are still suffering from a lack of affordable housing in the city. So as we invest in the water, we want to invest in people as well and continue providing affordable housing for people that deserve it and want to work and do everything that's necessary. Parks Place. It's the old Cleveland Court. It's now named after Miss Rosa Parks, but it was Cleveland Court years ago, as some of you would know it. We've gone in, and I can tell you this right now. I got outvoted on that because I have been of the mindset, yes, I did. I've been in the mindset of demolishing it, coming with new facilities where we could. But we put money in this, reinvested in Park Place, and it's now a very nice place for people to live. The problem we have there now is that years ago when they built housing projects, everybody in the family and every kid did not have a car. So there's a shortage of parking. So we have got to find additional areas around Parks Place for parking, and we're trying to do that as we speak here tonight. We went in and we renovated, put a facelift on it, redid the interior and things of that nature for the old Cleveland Court. The next one was Trenton Court. I don't know how many of you remember Trenton Court, but that's the way it was before it was demolished. And the next slide will show you what's known as Columbus Square Phase 1 and 2. And I like to brag on that because if you have not been there, I would like to encourage each of you. to go and visit, talk with the manager there, talk to the people there. It's one of the best housing complexes in the city of Montgomery. Very proud of all the entities that are there, the weight room, that's a room where you can go and have conferences. That's everything there that you would have in any other apartment complex. And we wanted to be good partners, so when you look at the design of it, it's designed to fit right into downtown Montgomery. It started off with that warehouse style on it, and then converted into housing. So you'll see how it really fits in. I'm saying that only to say that we are here to be good partners, to work with the city, to rebuild the infrastructure, and to really take care of people that really need help and assistance when it comes to housing. We also have Columbus Square Phase 2 that you see there. It has been completed and is completely occupied. We also did Victor Tulane Gardens. When we tore down Victor Tulane Court, we came back with Victor Tulane Gardens. So that is very successful. We've had some issues there, but we're beginning to straighten those out. But it's completely renovated, modern facility with appliances as well. One other thing that we have done, if you look at the next slide, was we're trying to change the image of these particular areas. And when you look at that Choice Neighborhood Initiative, a grant that we plan to apply for, you see the lighting under the tone here. We're trying to advocate that we do that throughout the area to bring that to the city, to make people know that within the inner city, you know, you can feel safe, you got good climate, and this just brings attraction to it, get rid of the people sitting under the bridge and things of that nature, so that people will feel safe, the lights are there. And I want to thank the city and the mayor's office for working with us and the council in terms of the funding. I think that cost us about $500,000. We put up $450, the city put up $150. Now let me tell you what my next challenge is. It has nothing to do with the council, but I say it while I'm here. We've got to get the county to come on board too. Everything that's in the county is in the city. So people that, we want them to come in and to help, and we can have additional resources for the shortage that we have in public housing. The other thing that we're trying to do is beef up our residence assistance program. And what I mean by that is we have young people in public housing and affordable housing just 2 and 3 grades behind as I speak to you tonight. We have got to find, working with the public school system, working with universities, working with the 2-year school system, anybody that we possibly can, all of the other organizations that you fund to try to help these young people, to help these kids. So that's our biggest challenge in terms of making certain that we do that and that they stay in school and that they'll become great citizens. So those are the type of things that we are trying to do with public housing. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer. But I can't answer them. Our director will answer them. I just come and try to help raise the money and do whatever is necessary. But we have good people that's working for us each and every day to try to work with you and HUD. And I can tell you right now, trying to follow HUD rules and regulations is a nightmare in many cases, but we have to do that. There are a lot of ways I think that we could do things differently, but there are certain regs that we have to follow when it comes to that. Oh, one other thing that I did miss, let me see where it is our waiting list. So that you have an idea of what we're dealing with here in Montgomery.
Is it 8,000?
Let's see. Okay, for our housing choice vouchers, we have a waiting list of 1,974 people. For our project-based vouchers, we have a waiting list of 3,952 people. For Columbus Square, we have a waiting list of 107. And for public housing alone, we have a waiting list of 7,674 people within the Montgomery area. So you can see the shortage that we have in affordable housing here in the city of Montgomery. And we appreciate the help that we've gotten from the city in the past, and we would like to continue to help the support of the city on any money to help affordable housing, and we can assure you that it will be put to good use. And if there are any questions, we'll be very happy to try to respond to them.
Questions?
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
Dr. Knight, question for you. What do a true relationship or a true partnership with the city of Montgomery look like for Montgomery Housing Authority?
I think what it would look like would be working with your planning department here in the city, working with all of the entities that are doing something for low-income areas, bringing all of that together, cut out any duplication that may be taking place. Accountability will be another thing, making certain that everybody that's got an entity that's being funded are doing what they're supposed to do and what their deliverables are. I mean, just like you would do anything else. I mean, I think that's the way you get a handle on it, and then you know what you have, then you know what you need. You know, we work with Community Action Agency, we work with YMCAs, we work with a lot of the other, or work with churches and things of that nature. Sometimes it's difficult to determine exactly what everybody is doing, but we need all the help that we possibly can get.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Very good. Thank you, John.
Okay.
Good to see you. Appreciate it. Appreciate what y'all do.
Thank
Looks
you.
good.
Thank you. Just keep us in your budget.
All right. James Reed from the Planning Commission.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
My name is James Reed. I'm the chairman of the City Planning Commission. And the City Planning Commission comes under the Land Use Division. And we are a 9-member board appointed by the City Council. And we usually have we have 5 for a quorum at any time. And some of the things we deal with is plats, revised master plans, rezoning, and street naming. And so we deal with those issues, and then we make a recommendation to you guys. And then you guys take it from there. Sometimes most of the time you listen to what we have to say, but sometimes, you have to break away, and we understand that. No problem with that. That's basically it. I'm sorry I don't have the cute slides and all of that stuff. Handouts and all of that stuff.
Let's see if we have any questions. Anyone got any questions, James?
And the main thing, and one of the other things is we serve without compensation.
Right.
Voluntarily.
Good. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Are there any questions that you have for me?
I don't have any.
Plots, plan,
You did good.
anything?
We
You did a
trust
great
you.
job.
All right,
We
thank you
trust
very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, James.
For the Mental Health of America, we need Dr. Bisbee and Dawn Stevens, please. And whoever else. We're running tight, so stay on your 3 minutes, please, okay?
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, City Council members and others. And thank you all for allowing us to come and speak with you about Mental Health America in Montgomery. First of all, you may know that 43.8 million people, adults, experience mental illness in a given year. And depression is the leading cause of disabilities of all kinds in this country. Right here in Alabama, 794,000 adults have a mental health condition. That's more than 3 times the population of Birmingham. Every person in this room has a family member, a friend, a colleague, or a neighbor who has experienced a mental health problem. We're here today asking you to support our efforts in our community to support people with mental illness and promote good mental health. Our partner, CareStar Health, provides excellent mental health treatment, but some people need additional support after they have completed treatment. And so Mental Health America in Montgomery helps to pick up on some of that treatment and provide support in the community so that people can remain successfully in the community. And the other thing is every person in the community needs education about mental health. And so that is something that we do. I want to introduce our executive director, Dawn Stevens to pick up.
Thank y'all. Thank you, Cynthia. And I guess y'all knew that we've got Shirley here with us today, and we also have 3 of our other board members with us as well, supporting us. In your folders, I know Shirley gave y'all a folder, you'll find some information about our organization. We were started in 1951 by a group of folks in Montgomery who were interested in mental health issues, such as the Junior League, the League of Women Voters, the Council of Jewish Women, and some other Montgomery area businessmen. We were incorporated in 1959, and our organization has been, we are on South Hull Street. We've been there since 1966. Some of the organizations that we've helped to partner and found in the city include, we helped establish the Montgomery Area Mental Health Authority, which is now Caristar. We were really involved heavily with that. We served as a driving force way back when to establish Grill Hospital. Grill Hospital was a TB hospital before it became Grill, and now of course that's closed, but we helped start that organization. We helped start the Help a Crisis, which was an emergency hotline that was later turned over to the Montgomery Area Mental Health Authority. Some of that is listed in your folder, and we've got a budget wish list that we're working from. And we are here today to ask y'all, y'all have supported our Operation Santa Claus over the years, and we want y'all to continue to do that. We have gotten donations, individual donations from y'all, but we are here today seeking to try to expand some of our programming we do. We want to serve even more people who we do serve. We served about 4,000 people last year, and we'd like to grow some of the programs that we do. We would like to ask each of you for about $5,000 each, and that would be about $50,000 total. We have not come before y'all before asking for money to support our operations and programming, only Operation Santa Claus. Anyway, thank you for your consideration, and we really do need your help.
Thank
Y'all have any questions?
Thank you.
If you would just give me a minute, I just
Okay.
want to say that each of you up there probably know me. I'm all things mental health wellness, mental health support, and it's really needed. And if you ever see me, I'm on a mission for mental health. So I need you guys to help me be on this mission for mental health as well. Serving those 36,000 people, 3,600 people that we served, a lot of it came from, fundraising, donation, United Way, and not to mention from some of our board members. So we personally had to come up with fundings and transportation and, our personal vehicles to get this done. Anything mental health, we should be embracing it. We should continue to have that compassion about it, and we should make sure that whatever you can do, that we do it for this city. Mental health is a big deal. It's real.
Very big deal.
It's a big deal.
Big deal.
And so I thank you all.
Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Joe Parnell, to speak to us.
Good afternoon.
Hey, Joe.
Good afternoon.
My name is Joe Purnell. I have no position other than just citizen. And I'm not asking for money because what I'm asking you for is free. What I'm asking for is an improvement, or rather an enhancement, if you will, overall in city services. Garbage pickup. Garbage pickup, I believe, can definitely be improved. I understand that you may have some labor shortages, but understand one thing. You're the city fathers, mothers, and so we expect that what we pay for to be done on a level that is conducive to the money that we pay. I'm not here asking you for money, I'm asking for improvement in city services. When the garbage is picked up, that shouldn't be in the garbage left in the spot from where it is picked up from. It should be in the truck. The garbage can should be sitting back up. Now, perhaps I'm nitpicking, but then time after time, when I take the trouble to put my garbage in a bag and sit my garbage on the street, and then turn my garbage can a certain way, as everyone does in the cul-de-sac. And yet to come out there to get my garbage can in the afternoon and still find garbage on the street when I know I didn't put it on the street, that can be improved on. The other thing I'm talking about, and I'm talking about from a personal aspect, I used to work in Lowndes County for DHR. A couple of years ago, my wife and daughter had an accident on the Atlanta Highway in front of Fraser Church. I drove from Haynesville, Alabama to Montgomery. That's about a 30-minute to 45-minute drive, depending on the traffic. And I came from Haynesville, Alabama to Atlanta Highway in front of Fraser Church, and the traffic cop had not even gotten there yet. Now, consider that. And my wife and my daughter, I set them in my truck, turned on the air, and we still had to wait on the cop another 30 to 45 minutes after I got there. Let's take October 5th of 2022, about 10 weeks after my wife had neck surgery. We were pulling out on Chantilly Drive. We got rear-ended. It took the traffic cop an hour to get there. And then after my wife was transported to Jackson Hospital in an ambulance, I still had to wait on the traffic cop to do the administrative work to get there. I don't know what the problem is. I'm just bringing up these issues to show you that if I'm disgruntled, understand my situation. When I'm rear-ended, my wife is going to the hospital in an ambulance. I can't leave because the police hasn't gotten there yet. Or take, for example, when there are traffic accidents, not involving me, but other citizens. When I see policemen standing around with their hands in their pocket, not directing traffic, but just with their blue lights flashing. That's not traffic control. When you ask the policeman and say, well, can't you do something? They tell you, I'm not a traffic cop. These are city services. So you wonder why citizens are disgruntled? This is why I'm disgruntled. The fact of the matter is that to be drinking something and be traveling along certain streets and you hit a bump in the middle of the street, a pothole. I mean, why is that same pothole still there, not day after day, week after week, month after month? We pay taxes. But then when I see the same pothole there in January, that's now there, here it is in July, on a main thoroughfare. Like I say, I'm not asking for money, I'm asking for improvement. We have single mothers in this city. I heard John up here talking about housing. Well, let's talk about Section 8. When single mothers, I'm asked, what can I do? They're having problems with their plumbing and heating, what have you, within it. And I tell them to call the city councilman. The city councilman tells them, well, I don't deal with that. But you approve the building codes. The building codes is under your auspices. So I thank you. I just want you to think about what I'm saying. If I got these many problems as an individual, consider the other 90,000 or so in the city.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, Mark from Habitat for Humanity.
Yeah, we can have it. Thank you.
Man, you move that quick in a long time.
What's that?
You move that fast.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Mark Hall with Habitat for Humanity. I won't spend a whole lot of time describing what that is. I'm sure y'all know I've described it in detail to the council before. In the packet I gave you all, it just really some things I really just want to iterate is we do not rent homes. We do not give homes away for free. We do provide the opportunity for home ownership. In this world of affordable housing, we try to provide working families who need some help with some affordable housing. None of our mortgage payments that they pay, we house the mortgages. Nothing's over $500, so it's really affordable. In that packet, I wanted to show you the last home dedication we did on April the 27th of this year. It was on Sussex Drive. for Ebony Terrence and her family. There's a flyer about it. And then the Montgomery Independent and the Montgomery Advertiser had some pictures and articles about that. I show you that to show you, to say this, I want to do more of those. I want to work with each of you councilmen in each of your districts and provide the affordable housing opportunities for these families, which really creates generational wealth. And it's, you know, it's for low-income families. Also, there's a picture of the house we actually did, so you can kind of see that. And then I got we have a Restore on East South Boulevard that's really a fundraiser for our mission, and that's to provide decent housing for the citizens of in the community in Montgomery. What I'm asking, just to cut to the chase, you know, I want to do one a quarter to start out with. Every affiliate at Habitat throughout the state is different. You have some that do one a year. You have some that do 15 to 20 a year. In Montgomery, right now, the focus is on existing structures, if possible. That's more affordable for us, but it also helps the city because we have plenty of those. So that's my goal right now, is to rehab these houses, get them ready, and it's something that I would want to live in. That's why I want to get them to. If I don't want to put anybody in a house that I wouldn't live in myself. So 75,000, basically a quarter, 300,000 is what I'm asking in the on the budget. So please take that into consideration, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you. I'd like to see you in these pictures the next time that I'm able to present. So any questions?
Anybody?
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Mark.
We're good. Thank you, Mark. Okay.
Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Before we close out, I'm going to bring it up again. I asked that its council look at moving our work session up 30 minutes. And for two reasons. I don't want anybody to be rushed when they come up here to speak at the work session. Second thing, I'm thinking about the city employees. The longer we stay in here, that means the less time and the longer they have to get home. I just asked the council to consider 30 minutes, because right now, we'll still be 15 minutes before 5 o'clock. Now we finna rush and going right into 5 o'clock. I just ask that we consider city employees and not rushing the citizens when they come up here to speak to us. 30 minutes, that's all I ask.
We would adjourn the work session meeting, go right into the council meeting now. We will not take a break, okay? And no, if you want to take a break, no, we ain't taking a break. Okay, because that break ended up being 15, 20.